Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.
Hello and welcome to the Leveling Up Podcast with me, George Swift. The Leveling Up Podcast is here to give you the personal development, the entrepreneurial development, and the business growth that you, the ambitious business owner, desires. I'm here to give you the inspiration, the motivation, but above all else, to challenge your aspirations to take you and your business to the next level. Don't forget, subscribe to this podcast and never miss an episode. And in this episode, I want to talk to you about why I think the old era of competition is dead and that we need to welcome in a new era of collaboration and community. At the moment in the world, we are facing an unprecedented threat. That unprecedented threat is an economic crisis that has never been seen before. In the UK right now, our economy is in the worst place it's been since the end of the Second World War. For the first time, we are looking into the future and we are looking into the eye of potentially a global economic crash, like one we have never seen before. Pandemics have come and gone before, and this one will come and go as well. Pandemics in the future will also come to pass. However, our treatment of this particular pandemic is unprecedented, and therefore we are having unprecedented side effects. We've never treated an epidemic in the same way. We've never locked down countries. We've never put people in isolation. We've never taken whole industries and told them to shut their doors. And therefore, we're having unprecedented side effects. And one of those unprecedented side effects is the potential financial ruin that every single country on this planet right now is facing. And as small business owners, we run the risk of being one of those victims of that side effect. Just like the isolation, just like how saying people should stay at home has also had unwanted side effects. We know that people aren't getting treated for routine things, and therefore we know that cancer, heart disease, strokes, etc., we know that those deaths are going to go up down the line directly, not because of COVID-19, but because of the effects of the treatment plan of COVID-19. We know, for example, that old people are dying because they're not going to see their doctor. This is not of COVID-19, but because they're not seeing their doctors routinely or going to hospitals routinely because they're frightened of catching COVID-19. The economic ruin is not because of COVID-19. The economic ruin that we're all facing is because of the treatment plan that has been rolled out globally to stem the transmission of COVID-19. This is not criticism. This is not me saying they were wrong or anything else. What I'm saying is really simple. This is unprecedented treatment, and therefore we're having unprecedented side effects to that treatment plan. So the old era of competition only existed because for someone to win, someone had to lose. For someone to come out on top, others had to be at the bottom. And this works well in the past, and I am absolutely a competitive beast by nature, and I've often said that there's nothing more adrenaline-inducing than being hot on the tails of your closest competitor or having your closest competitor close on the heels of yourself. It can make us dig in deep to fight harder, to find new depths of resilience, fortitude, creativity that were otherwise unknown to us. However, we can no longer exist as isolated businesses where we are trying to beat other isolated businesses. We have to come together collectively because we are facing the same common threat. The economy is our common threat. The recession is our common threat. The downturn in business that may well, if not probably, be waiting for us on the other side of this, that is a common threat to us. And therefore, we must start to collaborate. We must start to build communities of small business owners and small business entrepreneurs to support each other, to link arms with each other, and together to fight together collaboratively in order to overcome this mutual threat. The old era of me trying to win over my competition doesn't serve me or my competition right now. Whilst I'm fighting it out with my competition, I'm not dealing with the real threats that face us all. A troubled economy, a crashing economy, a global recession. We must fight the true threat, and the true threat is not each other. And in fact, if there's any hope of there being a small business culture, a small business environment waiting for us on the other side of this, then it requires us all to survive. And for us all to survive, we must look out for each other, support each other. I'm not saying for a second that I expect you to hand leads or deals over to competition. I'm not expecting you to give money to your competition. What I'm expecting you to do is I'm expecting you to work together as a network, not just of you and your competition, but as a network of all small business owners here in the UK and across the globe. If we want entrepreneurship to survive, then together we have to survive. We thrive as a species by surviving as individuals. This is the nature of evolution. This is the nature of society in nature. We have to survive individually so that collectively we get to thrive. You see, if we start killing off our competition or wishing our competition to fail, then we too will ultimately fail, because we only get to thrive if all the individuals within this community survive. So I'm not expecting you to go out and hand out loans and money and cash and deals to your competition. I want you to just to see your competition in different eyes, to see them as your brother and your sister as opposed to your enemy, to see them as other fellow business owners and entrepreneurs just like you and I, and to link arms together and to climb this huge mountain that is looming before us, which is the economic crisis that we are all facing. If we don't stand together, if we don't fight together, if we don't support each other, if we don't come together, then ultimately the risk is that most of us, all of us, many of us will fail. I truly believe that we're being called upon as small business owners and small business entrepreneurs to unify, to come together, to collaborate together, and to build strong communities so that together we can create something so powerful, so formidable, that we all have the opportunity to thrive. So I want to paint a picture for you of how we can come together as a unified one. It starts with you. And it starts with you collaborating with some partners. These partners should be partners that share ideals with you, share values with you. These are partners that you can work alongside, that you can trust. These are partners that you may share clients with, opportunities with, you may share market with. These are other companies where your products come together and work together. And then I want you to imagine that if we have all of these small collaborations, and if each of those small collaborations starts to extend their network, and whilst you might only collaborate intimately with 3, 4, 5 businesses, you consider a whole bunch of fringe businesses to also be part of your community and part of your collaboration. And imagine that all of these small collaborations and small communities start to spread and start to become one. What you end up with is something formidable, something strong, something tangible, and something that glues each and every one of us together and unifies us in going out there and becoming successful, being successful. No longer at the expense of anybody else, but alongside everybody else. There is enough to go around, and we must share it around. The way we share it around is we wish success for everybody right now. I wish all businesses to be successful. I want your business to be successful. I want my competitors' business to be successful. Because if you are all successful, it creates an environment for me also to be successful. We need each and every one of us to survive, to be successful, so that we as a community can thrive and be successful. This is the values that we've held at BBB in our success groups, our Extreme Growth Masterminds, our Success Group Plus Masterminds. We've built an incredible community of like-minded businesses. And within that community, we have businesses that complement each other and we have businesses that compete with each other. But every single one of us wants every single one of us to succeed. And that energy is tangible. It's the invisible glue that bonds us together in the community at Bigger, Brighter, Bolder. It's also the intangible that makes us so unique and so special. But rather than keeping that for myself, rather than keeping that just for our own community, I want to spread that vibe further. I want other communities like ours to set up and to thrive. And together we become a unifying group of communities, of collaborators, and together we will thrive. This is my vision for the future of entrepreneurism. And I believe that right now, you and I are the building blocks of that new era of entrepreneurism. I'll be talking a lot more about this on this podcast and anywhere else where they have me. But for now, I just want to wish you every success. As you go into the weekend, I want you to think about who you can collaborate with, who you can partner up with, but also to just think about that mindset shift of where you feel part of something so much bigger than just your business or your partnerships or even your community. And you start to see yourself as an intrinsic part of something much, much bigger, both here in the UK, but also globally across the world. Together, if we unite in that global vision of small business success, I believe we can create it. We can create it for ourselves and we can create it for our brothers and sisters in this business community. Not just at home, but around the world. Nice one, guys. Thank you for listening. As always, I really appreciate you giving me your attention right now. I'd love to connect with you. You'll find all my social media links in the description below. You'll also find the link to the 6-Figure Fast Track. This is a webinar masterclass on how to take your 5-figure service-based business, whether it's doing 20, 30 or 40, 50K in turnover, and take it to 100 grand or more in the next 12 months or less. The rules of the 6-Figure Fast Track have never been more important than where we are right now collectively as small business owners. Have an awesome weekend. I will see you on Monday. Until then, as always, be successful.
Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.